A stunning woman with a killer figure stood up from her seat and walked away. Two people nearby immediately made a bet on how many men would turn their heads to watch her go. Nick guessed 3. Annie insisted it would be at least 8. As they were finalizing their wager, a wealthy man sitting next to them suddenly joined in. He guessed 5 men would look and asked to be part of the bet. Once the woman began walking, the game was on. The 3 of them started counting, one by one. In the end, the total was exactly 7. Annie cheered in triumph while the rich man, true to his word, handed over the money. But he wasn't done. He urged them to place another bet. This time, the question was, which team would commit the first foul in the game? The match began, and once again, the rich man lost. He quickly doubled down, refusing to quit. Eventually, he managed to win a round, and the energy between them all hit a peak. Nick, having just handed over some cash, was ready to stop, but the rich man pulled him back in, insisting they keep going. As the stakes grew higher, the two moved to the rich man's private box. Without hesitation, the man put $200,000 on the table. He was in it to the end. They all stared nervously at the screen. Nick lost again. Annie, frustrated, grabbed Nick's bag and was ready to leave, but Nick snatched it back and dumped all the cash onto the table. The rich man signaled to his assistant, who brought out a case. Inside was $1 million. He placed it on the table, then carefully picked a card from the deck. The moment he saw Nick's card, his frustration melted into laughter. Nick had drawn a miserable 3. Annie collapsed to the floor in disbelief. Nick stayed silent. He ignored Annie completely and, unwilling to back down, doubled the stakes. Then he proposed an insane bet. He told the rich man to pick any player on the court, and he would try to guess the number on that player's jersey. The rich man stared at him like he was crazy. The odds were next to impossible. Nick turned to Annie and told her the guess was up to her. Shocked by his recklessness, the rich man was suddenly excited. Annie, on the other hand, was terrified to take that kind of risk. Just as she was about to walk away, the rich man announced he had already chosen a number. Annie, now trembling with pressure, lifted a pair of binoculars and scanned the field, desperate for a clue. Then, at the very moment she was about to give up, she spotted a familiar face, a heavy-set man, one of Nick's partners. In an instant, it all clicked.